Hello everyone, my name is Doc Holliday. I wanted to come on real quick to talk about the COVID situation that we have right now. As a lot of you already know, if you tuned into my station before, I am predicting that by the 20th of this month, which would be Friday, that we are going to be at 200,000 COVID cases a day. And that will continue on, of course, the following week on the 23rd. Naturally, on the 21st and 22nd, which is Saturday and Sunday, we won't be doing any reporting. So, again, on the 23rd, which is a week from today, right now it's about 4:50 in the morning on Monday, the 16th of August. So, just wanted to let you know that again, it's going to be looking at 200,000 people a day that are going to be contracting COVID, largely due to the inactions that our government is doing, largely because they're scared of the Republican Party. And not winning the elections or whatever on the next election cycle. But the fact remains that they really need to grow more balls and really stick it to the Republican Party, because the arguments that they're making are nonsensical. Being that, number one, I wonder if you guys hear me. I don't think you are. But the number one reason why I think that they should be doing more is because the messages that like, for example, Ron DeSantis is one of the people that are out right now that is giving a lot of jargon to the notion that look at the curves over in Israel and what was it, India. Look how quickly they rose and everything, and all of a sudden you seen them drop off the cliff. The COVID cases were all of a sudden gone. Well, the thing that he is failing to mention, oh, it's probably because of the UK as well. But the thing that he failed to mention was the fact that they had then re-implemented mask mandates to make sure that they were able to beat down the virus. They didn't just sit around and throw up their hands and say, oh, okay, well, we can't fight the COVID, so we're just going to let COVID run amok, and then it's going to just go ahead and what do you call it, miraculously, just go away. You know, that wasn't what they were saying, but yet that is the message that the Republicans are saying, and they're using Israel and India and the UK as examples, but they are not true examples, because they actually implemented policies to curb the virus by implementing mask mandates. Now, here in the U.S., we have, for the most part, a non-mandate for mask mandates. We have hodgepodge mask mandates at various state and local levels. Whereas what we need as a nation is a complete mask mandate, and we also need a complete vaccine mandate. That is the only way that we're going to fully curb the virus. Because what it's doing right now is just move like water. And it's going right to the whatever pockets of our society that has the least resistance. And now, being that so many of our children, what we got, like 65% of kids don't have vaccines, half of which aren't even eligible for vaccines yet. And by this variant being the most contagious to the children is setting them up for even greater risk. Because in addition to the fact that he failed to mention that Israel and UK had put in a mask mandate, the governor DeSantis also forgot to mention the fact that 50% of the new cases of the Delta variant in the UK and Israel and in India were of kids. They made up half of the new cases. Of course, they were people that were unvaccinated, but the argument that a lot of the Republicans, I don't know, whatever, the dumbass Republicans, what they're espousing is that you kids have their own natural immunity, that kids won't be affected by the virus. Oh, just before you were saying the kids won't be affected. Now they're just catching up to that, but we've already moved on to a whole nother virus. And there's other stuff that they need to catch up on. And the thing is that it is a detriment to our society. But of course, we already know that because the government always tends to do things that are detriment to our society. Sort of like this Afghanistan withdrawal thing, or whatever the heck it was supposed to be, just like giving up, just, I don't know what to call that. It's just crazy. How are you going to spend $2 trillion in your treasure? 2,000 or 3,000 men and women died. You probably got like 80,000 men and women that have been physically or mentally scarred for life to fight a war. And then to just pull out, just like, and then, speaking of which, I don't know if you all mentioned this. Since I got you on the thing, I might as well bring this up because listen. Look, first of all, okay, let's call this segment Afghanistan. How the freak did we get here? Number one, I don't know if any of y'all have really paid attention to like the Trump what do you call it? The Trump agreement, or the Trump Afghanistan peace agreement that he signed with the rebels, not in consultation with the Afghanistan government at all. It was just America. It was his president and his it was just Trump and his little cabal of idiot con men and the cabal of the Taliban con men coming together to make an agreement to stop a war in Afghanistan. There was never any negotiations or any thoughts about any kind of rights to women. I mean, seriously, the things that you could look at the what do you call it, the agreement that was signed by President Trump, and it's just like, are you serious? Like, this is the stuff that we actually signed? Like, did our congressmen really approve this stuff? Like, are you serious? Like, and then the fact that the new president, what's his name? Biden, he didn't even, like, if it was me, I would have torn up that agreement. Cause I'm like, what is this? This was no agreement. This is like, it was seriously something that you could have really put on the back of a index card. It was like 4 sentences. Oh, do you, the Taliban, what was it? What was it? And remember, all the way up until, I don't know, 2015 or something, whatever, Taliban, America never negotiated with quote unquote terrorists. Never. Let alone joined them in Syria and all this other crap that is going on. But America never negotiated with terrorists. But what did we do? Oh, we negotiated with terrorists. We said, fuck the state, whoever got elected or whatever, we're just going to work with the terrorists. We could do that, yeah. So they went ahead and they negotiated with the terrorists of Afghanistan. They did not negotiate with the government of Afghanistan. And these negotiations just pretty much gave political legitimacy to the Taliban. That's why you now see the Taliban going to meet China and going to meet, like, who was the other people that they met? It was China, and I want to say it was Russia as well. Like they didn't want to have conflict or whatever with with China or anything like that. And so, you know, and now just to go to show you how bad this deal was. The crux of the deal, the only way that we were able to get the deal signed was that the U.S. had to agree that the U.S. and the coalition partners had to agree that they would release 4,000 Taliban fighters. 4,000 Taliban fighters. The America had to release 4,000 Taliban fighters. And in exchange for that, what did America get? Well, did they get 4,000? Did they get 10,000? Did they get 20,000 Afghan fighters back? No. They got exactly 1,000 Afghan prisoners released that were held by the Taliban. So you got 1,000 Afghan prisoners that may or may not have actually even been Afghan army or military personnel. They may have been Afghan civilians that composed of a large amount of that 1,000 Afghan prisoners that were held by the Taliban that were then released by the Taliban in exchange for the 4,000 Taliban fighters that were released by America or by Afghanistan at the behest of America in order to complete the deal. And basically what did the Taliban had to give up? The Taliban had to agree that there would be no, that they would not allow any terrorist group to operate in Afghanistan to launch attacks against America or its coalition partners. That was it. That was the crux of the detail. Or the crux of the deal. Hey, you come over here and you as long as you promise to not come over here and bomb America or allow Afghanistan to be a launch pad of attacks towards America or any American interests, we're out. We wipe our hands. This war is whatever. Y'all need to work everything out, but deuces. And that's it. That was it. So we basically, the American government, to include President Trump, to include President Biden, they totally dropped the ball on this. And to include the Republican Party and to include the Democratic Party as well. All of them truly dropped the ball on this. This is an outright disaster. Not to say that we should have went into Afghanistan in the first freaking place, because Afghanistan only had one man in there. And actually, he was found in Pakistan. Oh, and that's the other thing. Like, Who strategizes these wars? Like, they knew nothing about anything when going to these wars. Freaking, okay, what made, the reason why Afghanistan was so hard of a battle to win by America is because not only did they have to go up against the Al Qaeda, but they also went up against the Taliban, and that was like the main enemies that they were fighting in the beginning. Now, the thing about the Taliban is that the Taliban is largely composed of a group of Afghan people and also Pakistani people. They both are part of the Pashtun tribes. Pashtuns people share they are split between those that are occupy the Pakistani side and those that occupy the Afghani side, and there is no there's no split off or whatever. There's really no barriers to speak of in between the two. They can pretty much cross, border free or whatever. So in essence, when America went in to fight in Afghanistan, what happened was that the terrorists, the Taliban, would often use the territory of Pakistan to hide in and to also launch or to strategize and then launch attacks against America and coalition's interests while they're in Afghanistan, while the coalition is in Afghanistan. So that is really the main reason why America could never get an upper hand on it. And then with all the money that that the terrorist groups were coming into, whether it be from different governmental entities in Pakistan, or whether it be from the illicit drug sales, opium and the such, from Afghanistan and Pakistan, that they began to amass a large amount of wealth, and they tax people and all that stuff. I mean, this is like basically like a criminal, like they're basically like criminal strawmen. I mean, they're out there in the desert, like very parched deserts basically, and they don't have a government or whatever. So I mean, it's almost like the mob or the mafia or whatever, where you got the Pashtun mob and you got all these other sects mobs and everything, but it's just like this. The Pashtun mob is split between two different countries that were divided by the how do you call it, England and all those mugs, when they started splitting up stuff. So that's basically, and the reason now that I believe everything kind of fell so soon is that number one, America really didn't win over the hearts and minds of all of its people, and we shouldn't have been there. Okay, this is getting too long, but America didn't win over the minds and hearts of the people. They really tried to push the society probably too fast, too soon. I believe that a lot of the people grew resentment of that. I believe that a lot of the people that actually went to work for the Taliban government were actually just going in there to get a paycheck. And I believe that a lot of the religious leaders and everything were fine with that. Like, okay, go, if America wants to pay you, go get America's money. Okay, that's fine. We know what you're doing. Go ahead and feed your family and all that good jazz. It's all good. When your time comes, you just be ready to do what you got to do for the cause. And that's basically how that went. As soon as the Taliban was knocking on the door, all these Muslims say, okay, yeah, we laid, and America America left. They're like, what we're going to fight for, what we're going to give up our lives for, when we could just lay down our arms and just go back to Islamic law and be cool with it. We get more females and everything else, whatever, like, it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. And the thing is that American government should not have been so crass to say that that they can just go in and just do nation building when they can't even build their own freaking nation. President Bush would have done a lot better job if he had spent those funds to try to or normalize the KKK. Normalize, but how you said to like get them to get out of that thinking of being a racist and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if he had to spend those dollars to undo all that bigotry and hate that they have inside those white people, inside the white people that we have in America, that would have been a much better resources of that money, as opposed to spending it overseas or going in to get and educated, giving free education to black people, getting free money to a lot of poor people to help them to get out of poverty and everything, and help them to make something of themselves. But nah, it just that doesn't happen. We want to go help foreign nations, somebody that don't give a dang about us. Look how many jobs and everything we were American government, the American taxpayers were actually paying for. I mean, we're actually paying for hundreds of thousands of people's salaries. I'm pretty sure that a lot of Americans didn't even realize that we were doing that. I didn't even realize that we were doing that. But yeah, we were doing that. So $2 trillion for not a dang on thing, and all them lives lost. It's really a shame, and it did not have to end this way. There's a lot of things that Biden could have did. Number one, he could have really provided a lot more air support, and he could have seen that things were going haywire like 2 weeks ago, and be like, okay, we need to pause on this withdrawal. You got to make sure that we allow Afghanistan to have a fighting chance and to really provide some cover, because of the fact that, hey, the Taliban, you can't come in there and just wreak havoc, even though you had this little index card more for agreements written down with the previous president. I'm a different guy, and I'm not going to allow you to just go hog wild off of on all your civilians and everything. So I really just don't like that at all, and I feel as though we could have did a lot to support the Afghan people, with real-time air support. Even if we, are using drones and everything, we could have flown some drones, for ever in a year, to provide a little bit more support for the government. It's not enough to just say, oh, well, the Afghan government couldn't stand up for themselves. We already knew that they couldn't stand up for themselves. I just, it's a messed up situation. But sorry to get into that tangent. My main thing again is for the people in the U.S. As it relates to this COVID situation. The COVID-19 Delta variant is a different ball game. People, if you have kids that are in school, I would advise you to take them out of school because we have so many ignorant folk that are, not caring, not wearing masks, and the really bad thing about this is going to be how many how many kids are going to be affected by this, because like I said, in Israel, like half of the kids were, half of those that were affected were kids. And it would be really a shame if that proves out to be the same thing here, because again, 65% of the kids over 65% of kids that have not been vaccinated, have not gotten one shot of vaccination, yet alone, the full doses and stuff. So if you have kids, please keep them home. If you can help it yourselves, if you can financially afford it, please do stay home with your kids. If you want to do the best that you can to prevent yourself from getting masked or getting the virus, you have to upgrade your mask. As you see on the bottom of my screen, it says number 1, get vaccinated, and then number 2, it says please upgrade and wear your mask. So a lot of people had been wearing these little masks right here that I previously said a zillion times, throw away. They are no good for you, especially now in terms of fighting the COVID-19 Delta variant. So I would recommend at a minimum, you go with these ones right here. You can put them on, and what they do is they will put, they'll cover all of there's no exposed or open area. Everything is pretty tight to your skin. This is how you want to have your mask fitting. This is at a minimum that you will want to have your mask fitted. And you can see how, you could tell how mine is fitting, because when I breathe in, like the air has to go through the mask because it sucks in. That's the number one way for you to tell you got a good seal on it when it comes to these type of masks. Oh, also, no cloth mask as well. Cloth masks do you no good. Now, let me see if I can find my other mask. Couch. Hold on one second, right back. Alright, so that was the N95 mask, KN95, whatever you want to call it. Then this one here is one of the ones I got. This is P100. This will filter out everything. This is like the best, one of the best things to get. The only bad thing about this ones is that, well, the bad thing about it is that it doesn't cover your eyes. And for me right now, I'm covering everything that I can cover that is going to be absorbing it or possibly exposed to or entryway into my internal organs and everything. I want to try to cover up everything. So for me, like this right here would work ordinarily. This is maybe an option for some people, but if you want to be 100% certain, that although that is a P100, so anything you inhale and everything, it definitely will be filtered out. But in terms of eye protection, you know, you may want to go a different route. So what I have decided to do is to take it a step further and purchase me a full gas mask. And that way I can see, you probably can't hear anything. That way I can see and not have the possibility of anybody's virus or anything actually getting into my eyes. And also I also have the P100 filter on it as well. So, you know, it helps out. So I would recommend getting this now because I'm going to do what the 100%, the most I can to make sure that I do not catch anything, yet alone a biohazard, a bioweapon. Like, I'm sorry. Like, these Republicans, they need to have more people that actually go in the military to understand a little bit about bioweapons, because you got too many dummies in the Republican Party right now. Really too many dummies in both parties. But yeah, bioweapons is nothing to play with. It's going to mess up your bodies for the rest of your life, and you don't need that. So people, please do get vaccinated to prevent this virus from infecting you, and hopefully we will have everybody to upgrade and wear their mask so we can cut down on the transmission of the virus, and hopefully be able to at some point be able to defeat it. I'm hoping that the government is making more N95 masks, and they should do more to make them available to the public, and they should also do more to, again, put in a federal mask mandate to make sure that no one will get it. I forgot to mention to you also, on the 15th of next month, if we don't do more to change the progression of this virus, on the 15th of next month, we're going to be at about 400,000, 350 to 400,000 viruses or people come on down with the virus every day. So again, on August the 20th, and then continuing on the 23rd, we're going to start getting the 200,000 per day. And then on the 15th of September, that's when we're going to get the how do you say, the 350 to 400 a day, if we do not do more to help the progression of this virus. So if you all would do me a favor, if you do appreciate some of the information, or found it informational or found it beneficial to you, if you found yourselves gaining more in this 30 minutes than you have in any other 30-minute news broadcast, or if you think that it will be beneficial for other people to watch this broadcast, please consider doing me and those people a favor in liking and or subscribing to this video, and or sharing this video as well, because that helps YouTube know that this is a video that is worth people's time, and therefore they would go ahead and recommend it to more people, and you know, can get the viewership up to hopefully you know, share the news that is going to be beneficial for Americans that need it most. So we still got 50% of the eligible people that are vaccinated. 50% of eligible people to be vaccinated are not vaccinated yet. So we still got a lot of work to do, and you know, and that's just in this country. So I'm hoping everybody stays prayed up, and if you can, also please upgrade your life insurance policies, especially if you are one of those that do have to work out in the public and everything. Please do update your life insurance policies. If you have kids or whatever that are in school, please update their life insurance policies. Make sure all your medical healthcare coverage is in the best state that it can be, because treating COVID is not expensive. You know, you're looking at anywhere from $30,000 to $200,000 in costs, just depending on how long you stay up there. And some cases it may be $1 million or more. You know, if you're in there for a month or two and happen to have some double lung bypass surgery or something like that, you know, it can be crazy. Oh, and one of the things that you all should also have, I mentioned this in our first go round with the COVID-19, is to make sure that you have the O2 sensors in your household. Therefore, that if anyone does contact COVID, that you can at least monitor the O2, the oxygen in your blood level, to know whether or not you need to go to the ER or not. But it is also urgent that as soon as you all really come down with a symptom of COVID-19 or the Delta variant this time around, you really need to go and seek emergency room care. Don't mess around with this, because the longer you mess around with it, the more likelihood, the higher the likelihood of you to die. So you definitely don't want to play around and mess around at all. But above all, you want to get vaccinated, and also upgrade your mask and wear your mask. Wear it correctly. Wear it above your nose and over your mouth at all times. And remember that these masks here are disposable. They're only supposed to be for one use only. And you can wipe down these masks, these ones. You can wipe down these ones with a disinfectant. The only bad thing about these ones here is the actual filters are not waterproof. So if you were to wear this and then you were to go outside or put it on, you have to just be conscious that you can't get these ones wet, at least not terribly wet, because they would ruin the material and the effectiveness of the design. Whereas this right here, you can get these ones wet somewhat. You can't soak them or anything like that, but and even it does, if you get too much water in it, can affect these. Probably even a little bit of water can affect it. It does have this cover on it, but this is vented, so water can get through this, and it can probably affect the membrane and the effectiveness of the filter. So just keep that in mind. Also with these new ones as well, I like it because the holes, the exhaled air is actually going down, whereas in previous designs the air was like going out and like escaping up and fogging up your glasses and all that type of thing. So both the design of this half face mask and the design of this one, as you can see there, are of the upgraded quality. So I would recommend paying a little extra for those features as well. I don't believe I'll be able to put a post or a link to those things, but you can pretty much find them at like Amazon or eBay or websites like that. But I'm gonna get out of here for now. Please do take care, and please do like, share, and subscribe. Please also subscribe to my Twitter channel. and it is underscore doc DOC underscore holiday HOLLIDAY. This is again for me, and I'm signing off like I'm on a movie set or something, or what do you call it? A news show. For me, Diane, and the rest of the news crew. Bye for now. See you next week. No, but for real, take care. I hope you all stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you in the next one. God bless. See you soon. Bye bye.